Good morning and welcome to the Vision Alignment Show, where we understand how important it is to understand that we all have blindness in our lives. So that is really crucial, but also that we are better off when our vision is aligned with our core beliefs, our core values, our core strengths. That will make all the difference in the world. But I've got to tell you, there's big stuff happening here. So if you want to hear a little bit more about what's going on, stick right with me. We'll be right back soon. Don't go anywhere. Talk to you soon. And good morning to everyone. Before we get started, I want to encourage you all to share this video out with as many people as you can think of on your timelines. And good morning, Ted. It's good seeing you this morning. Always. It's awesome. So please share this video out. That would be great. As always, put in your picture of you winking in your timeline. And when you wink, I want you to be thinking of, what makes you unique. So I know what makes me unique, and it's not my eye. What makes me unique is my positive personality and how I'm able to share my story with other people to have a lasting impact on their lives. So that's what makes me unique. What makes you unique? I really want to know about that. So put that in your timeline. Tag me on that so I'll see that. And then you're going to be entered into a raffle to win a free signed copy of my book. Sometimes it does take a brain surgeon. What else? Oh, and also put in the hashtag live if you're listening live. And if you're listening on a replay, put in the hashtag replay. Let me know where you're coming in from as well. That would be helpful because I love to know where everybody is these days. So I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, in my basement, which I haven't left in in a year. That's not entirely true, but it's been great to be able to spend a lot of time with you all through this medium that we have. It's been phenomenal. So I appreciate you all sticking with me for all this time. So having said that, I have a new coach that I've been working with, and I told you this a couple of days ago. This coach has pushed me to begin to think about what else I should be doing in terms of my speaking career and how I should be addressing different audiences. Well, he said, and I think he's right, that I'm really addressing the wrong audience, and not addressing the wrong audience, but talking to the wrong people, and not even talking to the wrong people. Really, what it's about is I'm letting people off the hook, because when people come in and they see me, they hear about that I'm going to talk. And sometimes they feel a little queasy, a little upset in their stomach when they see a brain surgeon and they're going to talk about, this bad eye and all this stuff. So when I start in my speech and they hear, well, I'm speaking on vision from a metaphorical perspective and really talking more about purpose, he's like, oh, they feel so relieved because they heard this story before. And they don't want to feel like they have to be there. But from what he said, what would help is if I told my story and related it to them in such a manner that I showed what I've been through and I've showed how I've been able to come through it, and I'll show what it's done for me. So right there, when he said that, that made all the difference in the world, because he said, your message is, he didn't say should be, your message is, what did he say? How to encourage and lead other people that are different from you. And I think he's right. I think he's perfectly right, because that is more of what I speak to. I don't usually speak on vision. I don't help people with their vision. I don't help people. Well, I do help people with their vision, but I don't help organizations with their vision. But if I can help people to encourage them to know how to manage and lead people better that are different from them. I mean, there are so many people out there that are different from us, that are different from me, that are different from you. So there's different ethnicities, there's different races, there's different backgrounds, there's different colleges, there's different high schools, there's different, you name it. I mean, the list goes on and on. So that is my new niche, is to understand what I can do for all of those, to help them to understand what makes them unique. And if they can understand what makes them unique, then they can embrace that and serve someone else with that. That's what I'm doing. I'm unique. What's happened to me has been unique. Nobody has, a shunt. Nobody has one eye that doesn't work. Nobody has a mouth that doesn't work right anymore. That I have a tongue that's swollen, and I have my face feels numb. Nobody has that. So if I can talk to that, talk about that, and relate it to other people and what they have, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. So there's so much to learn about all this. So I've had the opportunity over the last year to speak with groups, and more on the Radical Vision for Disabilities show. But on that show, we talk with people that are sometimes in wheelchairs. And I used to say they're bound to a wheelchair. Well, that's not fair. That's not true. They're not bound to a wheelchair. They use a wheelchair to get around. I've also spoken with people that have colitis, people that have cancer, all these different individuals that I'm serving. And I really don't know how I'm serving them, but I am, because we're able to have conversations about what they're going through and about what their caregivers are going through. So there's so much good that's happening in the world, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm so happy that you're here to join me with this. It's been great. So I'm looking forward to more of that. But the other thing he said, once you're aware of your mental illness and your physical condition, everyone has one. Everyone has a mental, not a mental illness, but a mental awareness. Once you have that awareness of where you are and what you have, then you can know how to use that to make someone else's life better. So that's what this is really leading up to. So, once you have that mental awareness of your mental and physical limitations, then they'll become something that you can leverage to reach out to other people. So I see Ted commenting here. Ted, what do you got to say? One of the biggest things that show people how to overcome obstacles based on getting to know what makes them unique, and that being different isn't bad. Agreed. People's disabilities doesn't define them, and they define what their disability brings to them. Absolutely, Ted. I agree 100%, because there are so many times, and I'm sure you can identify with this, there are so many times where you just stay in bed and feel sorry for yourself. And, that would feel good for a little while, but then it would get really, really old for me, and I wouldn't want to be there. So that's our definition. So if you have people that are coddling you and taking care of you and making life easy for you, and you're letting them, then you're going to stay there, because life is easy that way. But if you push yourself to do things on your own and don't let anyone else help you, for the most part, then you're going to be more empowered. You're going to feel more comfortable with what you're doing. So a lot of good stuff is happening there. What else I want to tell you about this morning? So yeah, so I think I told you that he said I was letting people off the hook. So let's see. Yeah, so I guess let me ask you a question. So if anybody that's listening, and again, listening, hashtag live, if you're listening on replay, hashtag replay, but comment for me if you would, and let me know what you would do to manage someone or to lead someone that was different from you. How would you encourage that person if they were different from you? Would you make anything different? Would you handle them different? Now, granted, you'll handle them different just because they're different people, and you want to make sure that you handle different people differently. You not handle, that's probably not the right word, but work with people in a much more personable way to make sure that things are relative to them. So that's an important part of this. What else? See Ted's on again. More independent. It's okay to let people do things for you, but only when you truly need them to. Yeah, so good point, Ted. You know, if you have something that's high on a shelf and there's no possible way you're going to get to that, obviously, then you want to have them help you. But you don't want to become dependent upon them, because I don't think that that's a good situation to be in. So you want to make sure that you have all your you make everything accessible to you, and everything you can do from that perspective is going to help. Wow, that was a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that we're kind of doing a little bit of a pivot. And yes, some people don't like the word pivot, but we are doing a little bit of a pivot this morning from where we went originally with the Vision Alignment Show. And it's still important to know how your core beliefs and your core values are aligned with your vision, but more of a pivot to where you understand how you can encourage people that are different from you. You can encourage people that don't have the same skin as you. You can encourage people that may have one eye open. You can encourage people that have speech lisps or impediments. Those things out there are there for a reason. They're obstacles, but they're not obstacles to block us. They're obstacles to help us. And the more we get over those obstacles, the stronger we're going to get. I'm having trouble reading this. The biggest thing is for us to teach the people around us what we can do and what things we need assistance with to improve your life and others. That's true. That's true. Good point, Ted. Good point. So that's what I wanted to make sure we kind of covered this morning. We really covered this morning. If there's anything else that I can do for you, please let me know. And instead of pivot, redirect my life. Okay, redirect is good. Well, thank you, Ted, and thank you everyone else that's joined on the call here this morning. I just want to make sure that you all understand where we're going, and we're going to continue to go down this path together. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being on, and we look forward to having you on the 11:30 show, which will be Radical Vision for Disabilities. And on Radical Vision for Disabilities, we're going to talk more about what we're doing and how we're embracing this and what good has come from this. What good has come from having one eye? What good has come from brain surgery? What good has come from the tongue that doesn't work right, and the mouth that doesn't feel good, and the face that's numb? So we're going to talk about all of that on our show at 11:30 with Radical Vision for Disabilities. Well, thank you so much, and have a great day too, Ted. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody on. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.